It's important, it's very important for me to show my work at McLean County Arts Center because this is where I grew up. I've entered shows here when I was younger. I had a chance to exhibit in a group show with animals as a subject many years ago. And I've seen so many different styles and good artists come through the Arts Center from the Bloomington-Normal area that it had always been a goal of mine to someday show my work again at the Arts Center. And this is a great opportunity. And I'm looking forward to displaying the work and having it shown in the community and share it through the Arts Center. East Meets West will include paintings done in acrylic and bronze sculptures. The focus of the work again being Rocky Mountain animals ranging from the bison and wolves to elk and even pika that are a little bit more elusive. Yeah, I do think my work can play a role in awareness of nature and conservation efforts. Early on, I was mostly focused on getting the animal to look right and choosing the right colors or making sure it all came together how I hoped. But more recently, I've realized that when you bring these images to people, and in this case from the Rocky Mountains, they'll hopefully become aware of them. They don't see them every day, and hopefully they have a fondness for it and a desire to conserve it and make sure it's there for generations to come. And I hope that has helped with my paintings, and my paintings stay on walls for years to come, and people continue to see that these wild places exist and have a desire to take care of them. I'm trying to tell a story, and the best way I can do it is with paint. And I may add a little bit to it or make choices with my palette to convey a mood that I will exaggerate from maybe what I saw in the field. So ultimately I want to tell the story and share the experience with the viewer and give the viewer an opportunity to experience these moments, especially if they're not maybe physically able to go to these wild places, or they may not know where to find these animals. So I'm trying to tell them the story through my painting, and painting is the way I've always communicated. I know there are excellent photographers who can relate their experiences in the field very well. For me, it comes through better as a painting or a sculpture. Yes, inspiration comes from nature for me. First-hand observation and hours, and in this case, years and years spent in the field. Recently meaning the last 3 years, I've traveled from Grand Teton National Park and Yellowstone up to Glacier National Park, and then down to Rocky Mountain National Park in Colorado in search of subjects. There's never a moment that I wonder, what should I paint? And should that ever arise, I just have to return to nature, and I'll surely find many, many things to paint or sculpt. So to find the animals that I paint and sculpt, usually it requires, well, almost every time. Sometimes you get lucky, you leave your hotel early or you get out of your tent and they're right there, which was the case a couple years ago. I set up a tent in Grand Teton. It was late, it was getting dark, and I had nowhere else to stay, so I threw my tent out, and when I woke up there was 5 moose, that had camped in the same spot. So that will, without a doubt, become subject for a painting one day. And that's an inspiration that just lays itself right there at your doorstep, whether it's a tent or not. But you need to get on the animal schedule. So when I'm in the national parks, I'll often be going into the parks when people are having breakfast, and that's when the animals are out and having their breakfast, if you will. And then there's a lull in the activity and people will rush to the parks, and then by the time they're done, all the people are heading home for dinner and the animals are coming out for the evening. So you need to get your habits adjusted to what the animals do and not necessarily what even your body's telling you should be doing. You need to be there at the right time and the right place, and be prepared to capture it in sketches or photographs, and basically just burn it into your memory. Yes, when I'm in the field, it starts with the observation and inspiration. I'll take photographs to record the moment, and then when the moment is past, I'll stick around and photograph elements within the scene that I want to incorporate that would help to complement what I'm trying to convey and add to the design elements and that I know I'll need when I get back to the studio. So I try not to leave the area without the information that I'll need to tell the story again to people. Typically a painting will, especially larger works, will be comprised of many photographs and taking out what isn't necessary to tell what I'm trying to tell. I'm not necessarily the best photographer, but I get what I need, and then through the painting and my palette choices and that I take it from there.